probably sitting at home thinking when this whole COVID thing is over, I'll go travel the world. And let me tell you something, now is the best time ever to go traveling. Since many countries and companies had suffered a lot from this pandemic, they're all trying to recover by inviting travelers and running various campaigns. All you gotta do is to spend some time for researching for good deals and planning your trip. Hi, my name is Sherkhan from Austrias Brothers, and in the last 25 days, we were blessed and honored to travel the Philippines. We've spent a week in Manila, another week in Palawan, and around 10 days in Cebu, and all it costed for one person is $800. Yes, you heard it right, $800 each. Considering the things we have done, transportation we used, and time we spent, this money is super reasonable. Or I believe I can even say super cheap. And in this video, I'll try to tell you how we have done what we have done as detailed as possible with price breakdown. If you guys are ready, let me start. But first, I must shout out to all Filipino people. You guys are the kindest, friendliest, humble, and in general, the best people I've ever met in my life. My trip to Philippines wouldn't be as much fun without you guys. I pray to Allah that Philippines prospers and people live the lives they deserve. Dear Filipino people, maraming salamat. So back to the business. Many travelers and backpackers alike say that you shouldn't spend the day in Manila because there's nothing to do. But I wouldn't completely agree with that because you never know the reason why people travel. Some travel for vacation, some for enjoying the nature, and others for experiences. In our case, we wanted to relax, see the city, and socialize with local people. And I believe Manila was a good choice for us. We walked around the city's most and least developed areas, talked with people and ate local food. Also, we rented a motorcycle to challenge ourselves in one of the most dangerous traffics in the world. That was great fun. As for the expenses, we stayed in a hostel called Ola Hostel Manila for $7.50 a night per person, including a nice breakfast. For food, it was $6 a day. Good lunch and light dinner. Usually fruits for dinner. We did that because our priority isn't eating the most delicious food, but traveling more. But if your travel priority is good food, then you might end up spending a lot more than that. So it depends on you. Getting around the city is so cheap. You can take metro, bus, jeepney, which is very traditional transportation in the Philippines, or tricycles, and they are super affordable. We spend about $1 a day for transportation. Part of the reason why it is only $1 is that we walked a lot. I mean really a lot. And we haven't done any paid tours in Manila. The first week is over, and now let's fly to Palawan. We started off our Palawan travels with exploring one of the 7 wonders of nature, Underground River in Puerto Princesa, which costed us $35 per person. That price includes back and forth transportation from the hostel, buffet-style lunch, boats to Underground River, and a tour guide. If you guys are wondering whether you should do this tour or not, every single cent we paid was worth it. Put your Google search aside and see this wonder of nature for yourself. Once the tour is over, you can choose to directly go to El Nido, which is one of the most, if not the most visited place in the Philippines, or you can chill that day and head there the next day. The best way to get to El Nido is private van tours. It's not really private as the name indicates, it's just how they say it. Just talk to your hostel or hotel and they will help you reserve one. It costed us $24 per person back and forth. We came back to Puerto Princesa because we had to fly from there. But now, let's talk about El Nido first. I'll be honest with you guys, we didn't have much fun in El Nido as it was raining every single day because we were there in the Philippines during wet season. Speaking of that, try to plan your trip when it's dry season, between December and May. However, we could do island hopping tour, a must-do tour in El Nido. The link to my video about that is in the description below, check it out later. And waterfall chasing on motorcycle. Island hopping was about $30 each, and waterfalls costed us about $10 including motorcycle rentals, fuels and waterfalls entrance fees. In Puerto Princesa, we stayed in a pension called Nellie's Place, paying about $8 a night per person. And in El Nido, our hotel name was Austrias Place, costed us somewhere around $9 a night for a private room and a very nice breakfast. I'll leave the links to these stays in the description below and I highly recommend them. Since we mostly stayed at home, our spending for food in Palawan was a little bit higher, $8 a day. I think it is also because this place is very touristic. One last thing before I take you to Cebu. We enjoyed beautiful nature in El Nido even if it was raining. There are breathtaking mountains and beaches that can be enjoyed regardless of the weather conditions. Now, flying time to Cebu. I said it in the beginning and I'll tell you again. Plan your trip to Philippines or at least buy your plane tickets in advance, otherwise you might have to pay double the price for flight tickets. Since we booked the tickets like 2 months beforehand, we flew for $45 each. We had 3 things in mind in Cebu: whale shark watching, Kawasan Falls canyoneering, and Boracay. The day after we landed in Cebu, we made our way to Oslob taking 5 hours air-conditioned bus, $4.50. If you ask me, my number 1 favorite experience in Philippines It's definitely scuba diving with whale sharks. Don't skip this. You can choose to go 30 minutes snorkeling with them for $10 or 1 hour scuba diving for $40. Whichever option fits your budget, I guarantee it's worth it. Right after the whale shark experience, you can grab a motorcycle and go to Tumalog Falls, the highest falls in my life yet, around 100 meters. Motorcycles and entrance fees are about $5 together. You can take awesome Instagram pictures and wash off salty water from your body by swimming in this incredible waterfall pool. The next day, we moved to a town called Alegre for Kawasan Falls canyoneering. Many people stay in Malbol thinking that's where the canyoneering experience is done. But let me tell you that it's quite far from the actual falls and more expensive to stay there. It only took us 10 minutes to get to the Kawasan Falls canyoneering experience entrance area and costed us $30 that includes private guide, lunch, pick-up and drop-off service. The places we stayed are New Village Oslob in the center of Oslo city, $6.50 a night per person, and Alegre Travellers Inn, private queen-size bedroom in the town of Alegre for $6 a night per person, with a great view of the sea. If you guys are wondering what are our criteria when choosing hostels, they are first cleanliness, second location, and third, privacy to offer our prayers. Oh, we are Muslim travelers and we need space to pray every single day. Just in case you didn't know that. That being said, we are quite picky with stays, so trust us, these places are very nice for any kind of budget backpackers. The daily spending for breakfast, lunch, dinner averaged $9 since the places we stayed didn't offer free breakfast. What we did was we bought fresh bakery products from local bakery shops and coffee from local stores for breakfast about $1 per person. Like I said, we eat to live, not live to eat. Filipino bakery shops are great though, super yummy and cheap. One last stop in the beautiful country of Philippines, wonderful Boracay Island. What people usually do is that they fly from Cebu to Caticlan Airport near Boracay Island, and it costs around $50 to $100 depending on when you buy it. However, since we were up for adventures and experiences, we decided to make our way all the way from Alegre to Boracay on the land and sea. It took us 3 bus rides, 2 cargo ships, 1 ferry, 1 jeepney, 2 tricycles and 48 hours to reach there. Overall, $23 for transportation and $20 for hostels on the way. It was quite an experience. Since Boracay is an extremely popular island, there are very strict rules and regulations that every tourist must follow. First, you must have a booking from government accredited hotels or hostels on hand before you put your feet on the island. Second, you must be wearing mask all times, no matter where you are, inside or outside. You are fined if you are caught not wearing a mask. You have to pay environment fee, about $8. From my understanding, this money is used to preserve the nature and surrounding of the island. There are so many things to do in Boracay. When you walk around the white beach area, you will be approached by local vendors offering various activities and tours. You can choose what you like to do depending on your preferences and budget. We went island hopping and snorkeling on the first day for $14 that includes lunch and snorkeling goggles. On the second day, we went parasailing, which was a bit pricey compared to many other activities. We did that anyways because it was on our bucket list, around $27. We spent our third day swimming on the beach, eating nice food and chilling, since we were super tired after 24 days of non-stop adventures. We paid $9 a night per person for our stay in a nice hotel called La Bella Casa de Boracay, located near station number 1. Spend around $10 for food every day. And that summarizes our trip to Philippines. Cost of coming to and going from Philippines varies depending on where you come from and go to next, so you do the calculations for yourself. With several unmentioned little expenses, we could travel the Philippines for 25 days, spending about $800. I think we have become a budget traveling experts. Since we are Muslims and not a great fan of going clubbing and drinking alcohol, we could save lots of money and traveled and tried more experiences. I must also say this, to enjoy your time in Philippines, I believe you don't need any alcohol or hangovers. Nature, experiences and people can give you more fun and joy than any alcohol could ever do. I'm living this country. This is not real, guys. This is not real. Of course, you can spend 5 to 10 times more than we did, but that's what we could afford. In life, everything is about priorities. Even though we didn't get to stay in 5-star hotels and eat luxury food every day, it's totally fine with us. We just want to travel more and become comfortable with uncomfortable. So, my final word would be, know how to prioritize your life and enjoy living it. But you must come to Philippines to enjoy it more. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you find it helpful, and if you do, give it a big thumbs up, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, share with your friends and subscribe to our channel so that we can be making more adventurous and helpful videos just like this in the future. You take care of yourself and I'll see you in my next videos.